Hey everyone, don't forget to stay tuned till after the video if you want to find out how to support me or where to follow me on social media. And also, if you like this video and like what I do, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for choosing me, and on with the video.
Hey bestie! You're wrong. That's not how body autonomy works. Okay, so I actually used to be a preschool teacher, so I feel particularly qualified to teach this lesson. All right, turn your listening ears on. Catch a bubble in your mouth, no talking. Good, awesome. Okay, listen close. This is my body. And it belongs to me and no one else. No one else. Okay, my body existing on the internet or otherwise is not an invitation to touch, to give advice, to ask inappropriate questions, to invade my privacy. No, no, no. No, people need permission from me for that because this is my body. You're wrong. I think we need another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? Okay, catch a bubble in your mouth. Turn your listening ears on. Good job. Today, we're going to learn about parasocial relationships. My good friend Kimmy Style taught me this lesson, and it's kind of spooky. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship between someone who is a public figure and someone who is not, but treats that public figure like a close family friend. This can be dangerous and lead to stalking and harassment. I have very clear boundaries about this. I love making new friends on the internet, but you don't know me in real life. So you cannot ask me intimate, invasive questions about my life or my body. Understand?
Do you all sense it?
Hey, bestie.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Hey, bestie.
She's back. Oh God. She's back. I harken back to one of my first videos ever. Right here.
That's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hi, bestie. You're wrong. See, when you're a condescending asshole to people because they don't say what you like and because you don't agree with them, that doesn't get anyone to agree with you either. Oh, I think it's time we had a little lesson in how to talk to fellow adults. What do you think? Turn your listening ears up, put a bubble in your mouth, swallow it down your esophagus, and hold it there for a good long time. You seem to be good at that anyway. Who remembers Miss Bubble? Miss Lexi Nimmo. Well, apparently, she's made her way to Dr. Phil.
The thing about me is I was on Dr. Phil to talk about fat phobia. Can you help me?
Sure. One thing about me is I was on Dr. Phil.
Okay. One thing about me is I was on Dr. Phil to talk about fat phobia. Can you just do it?
Sure. One thing about her is that she was on Dr. Phil, got flown out to LA, stayed in Hollywood, got a ride to the Paramount lot where she killed. All the producers had planned to have her on so that she could tell her experience. Suddenly, Phil decided he didn't want that. He wanted to fight, period. Said that she denied the science even though the studies show that he was wrong. Had a doctor on to talk about outlying cases that don't apply at all. 4 people helped him out, but she backed him down. Because he didn't know the caliber of woman he got when Lexi came around.
Hey! Oh, you were there too?
One thing about me is that I was there too, but that isn't the point, because I watched you go on Dr. Phil
And when on Dr. Phil, she goes on this whole thing about how she had to come to terms with her body and made peace with her body, which I don't know about you, but that's not a good thing, honey. That's you just deciding to give up. You didn't fall in love with your body and choose health. You made peace with what you felt you didn't want to fight anymore.
I've struggled with my weight and my body image my entire life. Kids bullied me for my weight, but I always shrugged it off, thinking, oh, well, they're just like mean kids. When I was 10, my friend's mom told me, Lexi, with those blue eyes and that beautiful singing voice, if you just lost the weight, you could take over the world. So it was particularly soul-crushing to learn that adults were thinking negatively about my body also. My journey to accepting myself was gradual. I've really made peace with my body. I started creating content for Instagram about 4 years ago to document my own self-acceptance and body confidence journey. One of the most common troll comments I receive is that I'm promoting obese. So many people seem to feel entitled to a fat person's personal business and are quick to judge them. When people are berating me online and telling me I'm gonna die by the time I'm 30, it is not inspiring. Doing your best, and tomorrow's a new day, and then that way you kind of lift up your entire self-image.
See, you're contradicting yourself then. You're saying, I don't like my body image, I'm just accepting it, and I'll do better tomorrow. And I don't, see, to me, this body positivity says we're not going to focus on body image, we're going to focus on the person inside, but it seems to be totally focusing on body image.
Which is fine. But you didn't even clap when Obese to Beast talked about his weight loss.
Yeah, you worked really hard to lose weight, right?
Yeah, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, yeah.
How much did you lose total?
180 pounds.
That's a whole other person.
Yeah.
Right? And so
I'm betting inside you were calling him a traitor. Well, because after all, he did the impossible. He changed his body size. Shit. How do you do that? It's a mystery. And then you had the audacity to look a doctor in the face and tell them you didn't believe them.
Would you agree that being obese or being morbidly obese puts you at risk for diseases at a higher level than if you were at a lesser weight and everything else was constant?
I would disagree with you. From my personal experience and from what I know working in the body positivity movement for the past few years and hearing other people's accounts.
So you would reject the science based on
I am not
anecdotal?
rejecting science.
Because
I am
the
challenging
science,
what
the current
you believe.
science says that you are 7 times higher risk for diabetes, certain kinds of cancer, sleep apnea, 6 times higher for high blood pressure. Four times higher for arthritis, 3 times higher for asthma, that you're higher risk for high cholesterol, inflammation, coronary artery disease, and if you have high blood pressure, you're 200 to 300% more at risk for a stroke.
With their medical degrees and research. And then you said this.
What are
Right.
some of your favorite studies that you've read that aim to research people who are, as you say, obese, so people who are overweight, who don't have organ failure, who don't have orthopedic issues? What are some of your favorite studies and research that you've read exploring healthy fat people?
Girlfriend, there's not enough living subjects for the studies that you want them to do.
Well, nothing in medicine is 100%.
Sure.
So you're going to look at data and you're going to look at percentages. And when you look at people who are 40, 50 more pounds overweight, the statistics tends to indicate, and this is very well documented, that they run more problems. It doesn't mean that everybody who's overweight is going to have these problems, but the risk is much greater than a person who is at ideal BMI.
Body
healthy
fat
BMI.
is inflammatory. So regardless of how much you have, it is increasing inflammation. And inflammation is the root cause of all disease, regardless of what it is. And so it's important to look at the data in regards to that and really look at, okay, are you insulin resistant? Because insulin resistance can lead to dementia. They're calling dementia type 3 diabetes. And if you're insulin resistant now, then you're setting yourself up for things like dementia in the future too.
And then you want to talk about fat people survive heart attacks more?
People of a higher weight are more likely to survive heart attacks. So many doctors are middle-aged white men, and my body is different.
Do you really want to go down that road, especially after this year we've already had 2 deaths? In the body positivity, fat acceptance movement? With people below the age of 40? Do we really want to go there? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Lexi is out of her element once again. She goes on and she pontificates about this beautiful mystery world that does not exist because she doesn't like it. She is faced with a narrative that is built on facts, and she still comes back with fantasy.
And I just want to say, because I've been overweight myself, I have a lot of respect for you guys, and I know what it's like to be mistreated, but I think what you're saying about the science is very, very dangerous. And just to give one example, New England Journal of Medicine, 2017, they tracked 4 million deaths. 60% of them were in obese people. And there's been research done that shows that the bigger you get, the greater your risk for heart disease, for stroke, for diabetes. And the fancy $5 phrase is a dose-response relationship. So the bigger you are, the bigger your risk. So this has been very thoroughly documented, like the doctor said, and people should love themselves, they should respect themselves, but they should not carry that into the science to where they're denying the risk. That's very, very dangerous.
You could see from her face how angry she was. She was not pleased. Lexi was not happy. But I was so glad that she was brought on and just cut down to size.
It's actually comparable to smoking.
I personally used to live in a smaller body, and I was very unhealthy. I had really bad blood tests. I was vitamin deficient. I was losing my hair. My nails were chipping. My skin was dry. I was very
But you have
I was
an
very
eating
unhealthy.
disorder, right?
Sure,
You
but
were
I was
anorexic and bulimic. That can kill you.
Because the problem is, I understand Lexi. And I even agree. Yes, it is fantastic to want to love oneself and to not want to hate your own body. I preach that all the time. But it doesn't mean we lie to ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we sit there and pretend to be something that we're not.
I see this sometimes showing up as the imposter syndrome. A lot of times people want you to accept what they don't truly accept in themselves. Body image is very important. We all need to love who we are, accept who we are. As an African-American woman growing up, I didn't see a lot of dolls that looked like me. So body image and accepting fat and not fat shaming, that's very important. But we also need to look at the totality of the individuals that are promoting these things too. They're entertainers. They are people influencers. They are to incite. They are to motivate. So you have to take that into consideration as well as the health.
Like, scratch the fact that I genuinely just don't like you as a person because you seem like just not a good person. Let's forget all that. You looked professionals who did years of research, real research, not TikTok research, not believing that this movement was started by queer black women when it was started by white guys who just didn't want their fetish to be taken away. Maybe do some research, sis. You cling to this and act as if your life is so bad.
My comment is to the young lady, I wish when I was as young as her, I had paid attention to the dangers. I'm the poster child of everything that can go bad because of weight. I'm going to have open heart surgery on October 10th. I had a heart attack. I have diabetes, high blood pressure, no cartilage on both legs. I need 2 knee replacements. And health is important. And overweight is linked to more health issues.
Yes, you got bullied. But if you look when you got bullied, you weren't that overweight. The pictures you showcase on Dr. Phil show a skinny girl. So maybe you just had really crappy people around you. But you didn't look really big until you decided you didn't care anymore.
I've buried 2 aunts that were morbidly obese in their 40s. My entire family has been morbidly obese, and I've buried them all in their 40s and 50s. And I think it is dangerous for people to be out there saying this is not an at-risk condition, and I do not endorse it.
See how that kind of coincides? People like Lexi, people like Tess, people like Virgie, people like Marissa, people like all of these girls in the BoPo movement. They're not happy people. They are miserable, but they don't want to change. And so what do? They decide to market it better. They don't want to fix the food addictions they clearly have. They don't want to fix the bad choices they clearly make. And they're all young. I think with the exception of Tess, most of these people are under the age of 30. And I will tell you from experience, I'm 36 this year. It was a lot easier to be body positive when I was in my 20s. Back when I could run 5 miles a day and I could lift and I was healthy and I was fit even when I was overweight because I took care of myself. But as I got older, I got in more pain and then depression hit. I couldn't anymore. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's not hard to change a bad habit. I'm not saying it's not hard to fight addiction. What I am saying is stop acting like it's some kind of ideological barrier. It isn't. It isn't some invisible force that you're facing. This is real. This is real. Lexi, I watched you. You have a hard time breathing. I'm heavier than you. And you have a harder time breathing than I do. Just sitting still. Like, guys, I understand part of her message. She wants people to feel positive. She wants people to feel loved. She doesn't want people to feel like their body is their worth. But then she goes and if you look at her Twitter and her, not Twitter, her Instagram, she's got lingerie photos everywhere. So she doesn't want her body to be her worth, but then almost her entire thing is about her body. Everything she does is about her body. So her body is tied to her worth. She just waited until she could find people that felt her body was worth it. I said it in another video. I genuinely am thinking about going undercover and making a TikTok where I make BoPo thirst traps. I do what they want. I follow all the trends just to see. Because I bet you. I'm tempted. Your girl's tempted. I can pull a Lexi. All I know is, guys, it's definitely worth watching this episode. It's definitely worth just to listen to her insanity. And you can physically hear. It's a lot like the flat earthers. She's got that cult, but she's clinging to that little cult thing. But do not let it take you, guys. I know you're better. I know you got this. That's all I had to say about it, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.
There's a disturbing trend going on in America these days. Rewriting science to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality to be. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. Now the term body positivity is used to mean I'm perfect the way I am because I'm me. It's Orwellian how often positivity is used to describe what's not healthy. Healthy at any weight is an unchallenged lie. At some point, acceptance becomes enabling.
Hey, if you like that video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, help me out with that algorithm. I want to first off thank all of my patrons. You guys are amazing. You help fund me. You help me do this. Thank you to Lisa, Emile DeVry, Edie, Anime Chan, Lady Derpy, Choco Hooligan, Valspara, Amelia, Esteban Laura, Gina Sina, Rox, Pink Dolphin Milk 65, AJ Larre, Becoming a Better Me, Jenny Eller, Selma, Sarah F., Cindy Lowe, and Desert Jack. Guys, if you want to join my Patreon, it starts as low as $1 a month, goes all the way up to $20, whatever else you want to give me. And we have a lot of different good perks. You can get drawings from me, you get patron exclusive artwork, and I try to get my videos out as early as possible to my patrons, although I have been failing it lately. If you like a lot of the merchandise that I wear, please make sure to check out No System. That is nosysnose.com. A lot of my shirts and jewelry do come from there. And here is all of my social media. If you enjoy my artwork, if you enjoy my rants, and if you just enjoy me, you can follow me on all of these different networks. I am like fly poo, I'm everywhere. Don't forget to check out my older videos or my most recent video, which will be right here. And otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day. And don't forget to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So, guys, I love you. Be safe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.